Good morning, guys. How you going? Today I had to take Ragnar to the vet. Now the vet's about a 20-minute drive from my place. He's getting vasectomised. So I threw a couple of fishing rods in the car because I knew this river wasn't too far from where the vet is, and I thought, oh, while he's in getting done, I'll put a couple of rods in the car and drive along the river somewhere, find a nice spot to do a bit of fishing, and I'll do a bit of fishing while I'm waiting. And I thought, you know what, I'll throw a couple of ferrets in too, just in case I come across a few burrows. Anyway, so I was driving along this river track here. That's the Campaspe River, by the way, and I thought I'll throw a few ferrets in, drive along the track, and if I see some burrows I'll give them a go. Anyway, so I was driving along this track and I've got to the end of it. I can't go any further, and right where I stopped there was a burrow right here. Now I've got Ragnar, Fang, the General, and one other. I don't even know who I threw in. I just grabbed a couple as I was going. I come across this burrow here, so it goes on both sides of the fence. Trouble is, it's not electrified at all. Pretty easy to get over there, but it's on both sides of the fence. No, that wouldn't be electrified because it's hooked up onto that tree, so it'd be easy enough to step over that. Anyway, so the idea is I'll put down a few purse nets. Burrow there, one there. And you can see a couple of bolt holes there, one there, one just there, another one there. So there's a few holes on it. I should have thrown in a long net and I could have put that straight around. But the idea was to do mainly fishing today, but when I see burrows I can't usually resist. And I did see a couple of rabbits back further running a little bit, but it's just a nice enjoyable day while the ferrets are getting done. I thought, oh, I'll just go on somewhere down on the river and enjoy nature like I do. Beautiful river this. It runs through some nice country if you know where to go. And it's not too far up the road. This runs into the Murray River, which is just behind my house, where I live. So yeah, nice part of the country. And I did see a couple of rabbits running back here. Seen a couple of kits and one 3/4 grown. I would suggest there'd be something in this burrow. See what happens. I might just throw the dogs in, give them a run. There is a little bit of a trail here through the grass. See that there? But that could be, no, it's definitely a trail. A couple of runs through the grass there, so there might be something in it. I'll probably put a ferret in and get half a dozen out of it. Anyway, whatever it is. All right, guys, I might throw down a couple of nets and then leave the rest open, see what happens. All right, guys, after a bit of contemplation, I decided I'll put down a couple of purse nets. I won't cover them all, but one in there, one down there, and a couple over here. I only put down 4. I could cover up a few more, but look, I really think it's not a lot of sign on it. The dogs aren't showing too much interest, but you never know. I've seen burrows like this hold quite a few. And anyway, if they get away, I can always come back and do it again. There is a lot of young ones around, so I'll set this camera up over here. Maybe if I set it on the car. All right, let's get a ferret out. So I've got the General and Tilly, and I've also got Fang and Chewy here too. Not a real lot happening, is there? Yeah, you might notice that not only did I shave all of Zip's hair off last week as it was starting to warm up, I also did my own. With the same pair of clippers, I might add. Yeah, so there's not a lot going on. Oh, hang on, dog's heard something. Oh, there we go. Baby. Tilly back down. The general chased that out then. He come out, he had a big hunk of fur hanging out of his mouth, so he had hold of it. Lucky to get away, but it's full grown rabbit. So they're a little bit stubborn. But I knew there was a big one in there because I heard a big bolt a couple of minutes ago. And I hadn't spotted the general, so I figured he was onto it. But they'll be chasing them around now. When they're hesitant like that, they run in circles a bit. But there's more than likely one or two little ones in there as well, at least. As well as the one that we've already caught, which is probably about a month old. Bit more maybe. But I'll do this burrow and then I'm going to head down to the river somewhere and get the chair out, sit in the sun somewhere, listen to the birds and do a little bit of fishing. I'm not exactly sure how long the vet's going to take. They didn't say. They just said, oh, it'll be some time in the afternoon. So I've got a few hours up my sleeve. Very stubborn though, like very stubborn. Looks like Tilly over the back there. He's working good, mate. Against my better judgment, I'm going to put another couple of ferrets in. Only because I think they're not bolting and they're running in circles, and trouble with these little burrows, they get caught up in them pretty easy. But anyway, fortune favours the brave. I brought chub with me as well, and I've got the chewy and fang as well. But I'll put chub in for now. He's pretty reliable. Another kit, that's why they're taking so long. A few kits in there. Little kit just came up over there, or maybe he's got it. Yep, he's got it. Good ball, good ball. Wait. We want Mum and Dad. You've got your kits now, but there's another one. Back down. Waiting for him to push this other big one out. Pushing a few kits out. I'm still spotting kits coming up, and I want them to kill them fast, so I might drop in the other ferrets and just so they kill the kits quick. Ferret. Start picking some of the ferrets up now. I've got Tilly. Chub just came up behind her. Tilly chased that other little kid out just then. So we got 4 kits out of it so far. There's still a couple in there. Plus however many they've killed. We've just seen another one come up just before. The Tilly chased out. There's Chewy. fact that most of them are still down, it just leads me to the conclusion that they're killing kits. It's in such a small burrow, they'll be showing their head a lot more. But I'll pick them up now. I don't know what's happened with that big rabbit that was in there. They may have killed it. I heard it bolting underground a couple of times, and you can tell the big ones from the small ones because of the sound. The big ones make a lot bigger thumps. And it was moving about quite quickly, so they may have got hold of it and killed it. Or it stuck its head in the corner and won't budge, one of the two. Oh, something going on over there. I just seen a kit come out and run back in. Seen a kit run past and then back, the general straight after it. Okay. Bang. So it's ready to go. Tilly, chub. There's Chewy and Chewy. Oh, the general. Sorry, 4 to go. General, chub, Chewy, Tilly. No, sorry, we've already got Tilly back. General. I'm hearing kicks underground, and they're big kicks, they're like big thumps. So it's probably got its head in a corner, and as the ferrets are chewing on it, they kick backwards. But it might get sick of it and make a bolt for it. There we go. Mine. 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 So what happened there, guys, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, when you got ferrets in there and they're not showing their head, they're doing usually one of two things. They're killing kits and chasing them around, or chasing big ones around, or there's a rabbit that puts its head into a corner and they bunch up like that. They just bunch up and the ferret chews on their ass, and the ferrets will chew on them for a while, get sick of it, move about the burrow, go back to it, chew a bit again, and eventually if the rabbit gets sick of it, they make a bolt for it, and it takes a bit of time. So when you got your ferrets and they're not showing their heads for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then one bolts out like that, that's usually what's happened. Now I didn't hear him running around and around in circles, normally you can hear him, but I did hear him kicking a little bit, so I thought, oh, he's got his head in the corner. And they got their head in the corner and they'll kick out at the ferret that's chewing their backside. And that's the big thumps you can hear. Normally when they're thumping like that, the ferrets are biting them, either somewhere in the burrow or in a dead end. So that was a good illustration of how that sort of thing can happen. And it's quite common. It's quite common. That happens more often than what you would think. You've got 3 ferrets that already came up, and Chub and Chewy are the only ones down. And Chub, I almost picked him up before. He came out a couple of times, but then he went back down. And what else do you find a lot is when you get a dead end like that, you don't just get one rabbit in the dead end, you'll get the one at the back, then the next one, and the next one. So they go through a process of getting one out at a time. They'll get the one that's getting chewed, he gets sick of it, makes a bolt for it, gets away, and then they'll go back and start on the next one. You wait another 5 minutes and then that one comes out. You know, it happens a lot. You see it when you dig down to them, and then you start pulling them out where the ferret is, because when the ferret's chewing on them, sometimes when they've got collars on, I'll dig down to them. And when you're pulling the rabbits out, you pull that one out, and then there's another one in front of it, then another one in front of it, and they're all lined up in the dead end. And that sort of thing happens a lot more than what you think. You pick up on that sort of thing by when you go walking up to a burrow and you see 15 rabbits drop into a burrow, and you only bolt 5 of them out, and you keep putting your ferrets in, and they take a while, and then they come out because the rabbits stick their head in the corner and just will not budge. And that's how you can tell. You pick up on that sort of thing. You think shit, I put through the ferret. Chub. You see it often enough and you think, geez, I've seen 10 of them run in there, I can only get 5 out. And that's usually why. There's Chewy. Not too keen on coming out either one of them. And if you're wondering what this is, that's just a whistle for the dogs. When they're going a little bit too far, I'll whistle and they'll come back. So we've caught 5 out of it. 4 kits and the big one. There's Chub. They're certainly not hungry because my ferrets get fed 24/7. The only time they normally get hungry is if you're out and you work them like this a little bit. After they've finished working, you normally give them some liver, they're hungry then. Their metabolisms are very fast. So when they do any sort of work, they get hungry. There's people who starve their ferrets before they take them out because they say they work better and all this sort of thing. Don't believe them, guys, it's a load of rubbish. If you have to starve your ferret so it'll work, you're better off getting a better ferret. Because the first thing he's going to do when he goes into the burrow, he's going to catch something, kill it, and you're going to stand there wait for him to eat. So I don't suggest starving ferrets for any reason. Mine have got food 24/7. And I feed them when I'm out, as you've seen in previous videos. I always feed them when I'm out. But the ferrets work pretty well. They pushed 5 out of there. I imagine they killed a few underground. And they managed eventually to get the big one out. That'll be chewy. Oh, it's been about 5 minutes since the camera was off. Still waiting for Chewy. There he is. Back down. There he is. He's given up now. Good boy, Chew. Good boy. You see the fur on his claws and the dirt. That's another way you can pick what they've been doing. Good boy, Chewy. Good boy. Still got plenty of go in him. And I may do another burrow later on if I find one while I'm fishing or something. Yep, got all 5 back. Yeah, just while I'm here, just for something different. I've shown you this before, but I'll show you again how I pack my nets up. I get the cord, put it over the middle finger to hold it out the way, put one ring over my thumb, and then I'll stretch the net out, put that back over the same thumb so it holds it, and then fold it up. From there, I just wind it around and just put the end of the net up into there, and it's done. These ones are even easier. The ones with the plastic pegs, which I highly recommend, they've got a bit of a hook on them. I'll drop that one down so I can show you. Same story. Put it over there so it's holding it out of the way. Get the bottom ring, stretch it, put that ring over your thumb, fold it up, and same story, just wind that one around. And this one, because it's got a hook, it just hooks in behind it and it's done. Alright guys, that's how I do my nets, and they're ready to go into the bag. I'll pick up the other 2 and I'll do the same thing. I'll find a place on the river, throw the rods in, maybe I'll put the camera on for a while and give you a bit of a look. So I'm blessed to be in such a beautiful part of the country, mate. And lockdown hasn't really affected me all that much, for one reason or another. And a lot of the stuff that I can do is within walking distance of my house if I want to. I've got a river just out the back, which is about, this particular river, the Campaspe, flows behind my place, and the Murray River's about, oh, I don't know, half a kilometre from where, if I want to walk to it, it's about half a k to the Murray as well. So I'm blessed to be in a country where I want a couple of good rivers, plenty of rabbits around, and lots of bush, and not a lot of people, mate. And that suits me just fine. Get back to you. Just thought I'd give you a bit of a look. I'm halfway out now, driving along this road looking for this just having a bit of a look around for fishing spots. The river's just down in here, and I'm following this track here. Thought I'd give you a bit of a look at what I'm talking about. I'll pass most of the areas where those rabbits were, but you can see for yourself when you see these hills and stuff that there's a few along other places that you can't get to, like steep cliffs, like over there, cliff over there, down near the river. And you get burrows along the side of them, but it's pretty treacherous. If you go trying to do them, you're going to end up rolling into the river. It's pretty steep, and there are burrows along there. But there's not a lot of rabbits here. There's a few. They're in patches. There's a burrow just there on my left. So it's the odd burrow. And the grass is always greener on the other side. I think it's because you can see them better along the river bank. I can see across the other side of the river. And there is a few rabbits on the other side of the river. But this is the river track that I'm following. And this track just winds along the edge of the river. And there's little trails going off this one that lead straight down to little fishing spots. Someone's driven through there. A nice part of the country nonetheless. I drove down to the right here before. I drove down there, and the river's sort of just in behind those trees there. But I drove down there. Alright, so that's what I'm up to now, guys. I'm just looking for a fishing spot. Just show you where I settled, and I drove in along this track here. And I had a bit of a drive along here and came across this little spot here. If you notice, there's a lot of snags in the water. More snags there, and a bit of a deep hole just in here. So the plan is just to drop a couple of rods just out in there. But it's the type of area that will hold a few fish because of all the snags in the water. So I'll throw them in, wait for the vet to ring, and then go pick up Ragnar. I don't know what you're doing right now, guys, but I hope it's half as enjoyable as what I'm about to do. Just sit on the edge of the river, pull the chair out of the back, set the rods up, listen to the abundant bird life that's around here, and listen to the wind going through the tops of the trees. Enjoy, guys. Well, all set up now, rods are in the water, chair's right next to them, one line going out about 3/4 of the way across, and this rod here straight down there next to these snags. So I'm going to sit down now, enjoy the beautiful sunshine just like the dogs. I'll lay down next to me somewhere. Ferrets have had a run, I might just put them in the shade. Didn't see too many more burrows out this way. Just put them down there. They've got water, and the rabbits are already done, gutted, and in the yesky. Yesky does have ice in it. Keeps the bait cool as well. And that's it. I'm going to go and sit down and enjoy myself. Hope you do too. Just picked Ragnar up. Grabbed some paint while I was there, fluorescent paint for the ferrets, so I can spray them so I can tell them apart a bit more easy. Picked up some antibiotics, Clabulox, which I like to have in the cupboard. I used the last of mine on Mini not long ago, so I always like to have it in the cupboard. It's a powder, so it keeps. So I grabbed some of that while I was here, off the vet. Here's Ragnar. And he doesn't look any the worse for wear. He's a nice ferret. So he's vasectomised now. I'll wait for about 3 weeks, and then I'll start to use him on the jewels that I want to take out of heat. So that's it for another day, guys. I'm probably not going to do too much more today. Ragnar looks fine. The other ferrets are down there in the cage. So I'll get him home. Probably edit this video I suppose. Alright, whatever you're doing in life, make sure you enjoy, because it goes past just way too fast. Bye for now.